What really happens to an older man when there's no one else by his side? No life partner, no shared dinners, no gentle laughter echoing from the kitchen. Society often looks at older men who live alone with pity. They assume he must be lonely, that his life must be dull, lacking, and empty. But that's just the surface. The truth behind it is very different. Because there's another world out there. A world where men in their 70s, 75s, even 80s choose to live alone with intention, calmness, and deep self-respect. They don't just survive. They live fully with themselves. In today's video, we'll explore 5 powerful truths, from physical health and finances to relationships and emotional depth. And if you're living alone or have someone close who is, I invite you to listen with empathy. Where are you watching this video from? Please leave the name of your city or country in the comments. We read every message with care. And if this is your first time here, please subscribe to our channel. Today's story might change the way you see a life lived alone. Truth number 1. Independence as strength and identity. Living alone in later years is not an accident. It's a conscious decision made by many older men. And in that decision, they find something not everyone understands. Independence becomes the core of their identity. Not everyone is comfortable waking up in a quiet home, no footsteps, no one waiting at the breakfast table. But for Richard, 78 years old, that quiet is a gift. "I love how still my house is," he says. "I eat when I'm hungry, read when I want to read, and sleep when I need to rest. Not because I don't need anyone, but because I need myself first." Living alone allows them to make choices without compromise. They arrange their home the way they like. They schedule their health appointments freely. They live at a rhythm that matches their soul. It's not isolation. It's freedom. It's not loneliness. It's control. This independence also nurtures self-respect. When a man knows he's taking care of his life meals, sleep doctor visits, he feels strong. Not just physically, but deep inside. He knows he is still alive, still present, still worthy. Psychologically, that sense of control reduces stress, brings calm, and creates purpose. Without the pressure of pleasing others, he can live more honestly with himself. He doesn't fear the quiet. In that stillness, he finds clarity. Of course, being independent doesn't mean cutting off from the world. Richard still takes morning walks, plays chess with old friends on weekends, and reads in the evening. Every moment of his day is his own. No one pulls him in another direction. No one needs explaining. His life may be simple, but it is full and meaningful. If you're still watching, type the number 1 in the comments. It's a small but sincere way to say you value the freedom of living alone. Independence is not easy. But for those who choose it, it's the foundation of peace and purpose. Because when you're strong from within, nothing can truly make you feel alone. Let's now explore another side of this life. When romantic love is no longer at the center, what holds our connections together? Truth number 2. Social connections beyond romantic love. Living alone does not mean living apart. Many older men have discovered something essential. Deep human connection doesn't have to come from romantic relationships. In fact, those who live alone often maintain strong circles of friends, family and community ties, all on their own terms, without pressure, without expectation. Just freely chosen bonds that bring lightness and comfort. George, 76, a retired engineer, lives by himself near a quiet park. Every Saturday afternoon, he joins a group of longtime friends for a game of dominoes. "We don't have to say much," he says with a smile. "Just showing up, playing a few games, telling old stories. That's enough to feel alive. When emotional demands are removed, relationships can breathe. There's no tension, no need to prove or explain, just simple presence and genuine connection. Beyond friendships, many men stay close with children, siblings, or trusted neighbors. Video calls on holidays, a photo shared by text, a short chat over tea. These small gestures are enough to keep hearts close. Technology helps too. A quick message, a check-in call, even a group thread with family. They aren't being left behind. They're choosing how to stay connected. Some go even further, joining book clubs, volunteering, helping at local centers. These small acts of connection remind them that they still belong, still matter. What makes these relationships so special is their simplicity. No roles to play, no strings attached, just people showing up for each other with honesty and ease. If you're still with us, type the number 2 in the comments, just a number, but a quiet way of saying you value these everyday connections too. Love isn't the only kind of bond. It can live in a kind word, in a quiet laugh, in a friend who sits beside you without needing to say anything. And when connection is no longer driven by romantic need, the focus often shifts inward toward taking care of the body and mind. Let's continue with the next part, physical health and the role of daily choices. Truth number 3, physical health and the role of lifestyle choices. Many assume that living alone in old age leads to poor health. No one to remind you to take your medicine. No one nearby in case of a fall. No one to share a meal with. But the truth is, the health of older men who live alone depends much more on daily habits than on whether someone lives with them or not. Thomas 80, a former firefighter, continued living alone after his wife passed away. Every morning he walks around the lake near his home. Then he swims laps at the community center. "No one is here to take care of me," he says, "so I have to take care of myself." And he means every word. That sense of responsibility keeps many men like Thomas committed to their health. They make their own doctor's appointments. They cook balanced meals. They stay active. Not because someone told them to, but because they know no one else will. Living alone also brings mental calm. No daily arguments, no tension over small things. And a peaceful mind supports a healthy body. Of course, there are lonely days, moments of illness that feel overwhelming, but men with positive routines often build their own support systems. A trusted doctor, a kind neighbor, a walking group. They don't wait for help. They create it. Technology helps too. A reminder on the phone, a quick video call, a health tracker on the wrist. All of it makes staying healthy more manageable. Thomas's story isn't rare. Many older men living solo are more motivated than ever to take care of themselves. They eat better. They move more. They stay sharp. Because they know health doesn't come by luck. It comes from steady, intentional effort. If you're still watching, type the number 3 in the comments. Let's acknowledge that taking care of yourself is a quiet act of strength. Health doesn't depend on who's beside you. It starts with the choices you make each day. And when the body is well cared for, it becomes easier to face the next important part of life, managing finances with clarity and confidence. Truth number 4. Financial independence and the right to choose. There's one thing rarely talked about, but it deeply shapes why many older men choose to live alone. Financial independence. When a man can manage his own money, he can shape his life the way he wants. No budget discussions, no pressure to justify expenses. he can plan freely, spend freely, live freely. Stephen, 74, a retired accountant, lives in a small apartment near downtown. "I know where every dollar goes," he says, "and that gives me peace. I spend on what brings me joy. A good meal, a new book, a short trip." Being financially free doesn't mean being rich. It means having control. And that control brings confidence. They don't feel like a burden. They feel capable. And that dignity matters even more with age. Financial independence allows them to make long-term decisions. They invest in healthcare, buy insurance, write their wills, all on their own terms. No delays, no arguments, just clarity. Living alone requires responsibility. No partner to split bills or share the weight of big choices. But many embrace that responsibility. They become more careful, more thoughtful, more secure. Stephen isn't alone. Thousands of men see financial independence as the backbone of their lives. From grocery shopping to legacy planning, it all comes down to one thing: the right to choose, to say, "This is what I want," and make it happen. If you're still with us, type the number 4 in the comments. A quiet way to say you value the freedom to decide for yourself. Living alone doesn't mean living without. Sometimes it means finally living on your terms with no compromise, no pressure, and no explanations. And when that kind of control is secure, it creates space for something deeper: emotional strength and honest self-awareness. Truth number 5: emotional strength and deep self-awareness. There's a quiet strength in many older men who live alone. It's called emotional resilience. Choosing to live alone in later life is rarely a casual decision. It reflects self-knowledge, the courage to stand without leaning on someone else, and the ability to face life with calm and clarity. Edward, 77, a former high school teacher, has lived alone for over a decade. "I've learned to listen to the silence," he says, "to listen to myself. And I've realized I don't need a relationship to feel whole." Many men like Edward have walked through loss, through long seasons of grief, through deep adjustments. But instead of letting the silence swallow them, they learn to live with it. They journal, they walk, they read, they paint, they join book clubs, not to fill a space, but to stay in touch with themselves. This is self-awareness, a strength that comes from years of living, loving, hurting, and healing. When they no longer need to play a role in a relationship, they finally get to be fully themselves. When they no longer seek outside approval, they begin to affirm their own worth. That solitude becomes a space for truth, for peace. It doesn't mean they never feel lonely, but instead of fearing it, they learn to sit with it, to feel it, and to grow through it. Many find meaning in giving back, mentoring younger generations, volunteering, listening to someone who needs to be heard. In those small moments, they feel needed, valuable, still part of something greater. If you're still watching, type the number 5 in the comments, a quiet sign that you too are finding strength within. Because sometimes the most powerful thing is not having someone beside you. It's being able to look in the mirror and say, "I'm okay, I'm steady, I'm still me." Now, let's bring everything together in the closing reflection on what truly matters in a life lived alone. Conclusion. We've just explored 5 truths about older men who choose to live alone. But what stands out the most is not loneliness. It's strength, it's independence, it's resilience, and it's a life lived with deep intention. They don't live alone to avoid people. They live alone to stay close to themselves. From everyday decisions to the friendships they maintain, to the way they care for their body, their finances, and their emotional world. Each truth reveals something quietly powerful. And maybe you see part of yourself in these stories, or think of someone close to you who walks this path. Whether you live alone or with someone, what truly matters is not who's beside you, but whether you're living in truth with yourself. If something in this video touched you, leave a comment below. One word, a thought, a feeling. Your message matters, not just to us, but to others walking the same journey. And if you found this helpful, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create more content that isn't just meant to be watched, but felt. Thank you for staying with us until the end. We'll see you in the next story. One step at a time, one truth at a time, with strength, with heart, and with dignity.